YouTube, and X. Thanks for making us part of your day. All episodes now available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Special guest in the house today. I haven't spoken to him in a while. The fantasy football draft many years ago. And I reached out to him. He obliged, and here he is. We did a keeper league years ago. We haven't really kept in contact, Facebook, that kind of thing, but haven't seen him, haven't spoken to him until a couple days ago. He's Joe Conchi, former server at Cheesecake Factory, now currently at NJC, Director of Sales, Supervisor of Altice USA. How are you, Joe? Happy New Year. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, man. Like you said, it's been a really long time. So, I've paid attention to some of these in the past. I saw some of your guests, and I, noticed a lot of cheesecakers, right? And
Right.
some reminiscing stories and stuff like that. But
Right.
so good to be on. Thank you so much for it. And thankfully, life has been really good, man. Thank you so much.
For sure, man. So now, growing up, Rockland kid, right? You went to North Rockland High School. Man, how was that? You guys like the big bad bullies of Rockland. You guys are pretty good in all kind of sports or whatever it is, right? How were you in high school as a kid, man?
Ooh, man, I was a troublemaker, to say the least, right? Like, I was a mix between the class clown and, eventually started playing a little bit of sports.
Right.
I ended up playing hockey for a couple of years. I was never really that good at hockey, but I played,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Stay-at-home defenseman.
Right.
And high school was great. I mean, in a place like you said, North Rockland, it was huge, man. Such a big school. I think we had 500 plus people graduating in our class, maybe even more than that. It's one of those things where you're sitting there at graduation and they're like reading names. It's like, I don't even know. I've never met that person, right? Which is crazy. But it was really an awesome experience in a school like that. And like you said, sports over there, especially football. It was a big football school. I think that when my sister was there, a little bit older than me, I think they won state champs in 1994, I believe.
Yeah.
And a couple of years that they were always, I think double A, top of the line team. Hockey, like I said, we were competitive, but we were never the best. And it was fun to play and hang out with those guys. But awesome experience in North Rockland High School, man, for sure.
Did you play offense or defense in hockey?
I was a stay-at-home defenseman. I was just a defender. I didn't do much, man. I blocked some shots. I killed power plays. I got out of the zone. Laid a big hit every once in a while.
Right.
It was an awesome experience over there.
How many times you got suspended?
Ooh, I don't think I ever got suspended. I've gotten some penalties. It wasn't really at that point in time. It wasn't like a drop the gloves type of thing. Not in high school. It wasn't,
Right.
But it was, I try to play as clean as possible. And I played hockey a little bit afterwards as well. It never suspended. Never that I know.
Suspended.
Yeah.
How much trouble you got in high school, man? As a kid, you say you got into trouble a little bit, right? You're a bad kid, sort of bad stuff. What's the craziest thing you did in high school?
It was just kind of more stupid stuff. It was like more foolish things, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
I was an annoying little high school kid, talk too much.
Right.
Sometimes talk too much, a little bit too much shit, right, to people, and quickly learned and got humbled after getting. I think I got like pretty beat up pretty bad one time, and that was it. Like
boy.
that, you get humbled really quickly when you get your butt kicked in high school once or twice, right?
Right.
But no, it was nothing really terribly crazy in terms of expelling or suspension.
Yeah.
It was more so dumb stuff,
Right. Yeah, typical high school stuff, right? What was your favorite subject in high school?
History.
Really?
It was history. It was science and history.
Science and history. Wow.
Yep.
What would you want to be when you grew up? Like, hey, I want to be this and that. Did you have like a goal in mind back in high school? What you wanted to do?
So, one of my sisters is 10 years older than me, right? And so I actually kind of tried to follow a little bit in her path, and she became a teacher, actually. And at that point in time, like I didn't really have crazy ambitions, right? And so, like as I said, history was one of my favorite subjects. So when I graduated, I eventually went to SUNY New Paltz. I went to RCC first for a little bit during Cheesecake Days, but I went to SUNY New Paltz.
Right.
And I actually graduated there with a secondary education history degree, minor psychology, the whole nine. So it was history. That was what the plan was, but it didn't
work out.
I'm sure we'll get to a little bit later of what actually materialized.
Right. What was your last day of high school like? And you still friends with anybody from high school? You still talk to them every now and then, bump into them, any weddings or anything like that?
Absolutely. Last day of high school, I mean, I remember, I can't believe, my parents are pretty strict, right? They're off the boat Italian.
Yeah.
And so I really couldn't believe looking back at it, at some of the stuff they allowed me and us to do, me and my friends do, whether that's go down to their house in Long Beach Island. They have a house there. They live there now, by ourselves. Right. And it was in the middle of the winter, but what did they think we were doing? Right. They let us go down there, 4 or 5 of us, have fun. But, even the high school thing, after high school, the day we graduated, a keg party. I think it was a keg, it was a beer party, it was something. I know there was beer there. There might've been a keg.
Right.
But it was just a wild time, it was a lot of fun. And to your question of whether or not I keep in touch with my friends, I keep in touch with almost all of my friends at that point in time. Some closer than others, some have moved to different places.
Right.
But the core group of 5, 6, 7 plus of us, between fantasy football and just talking regularly, going to visit them, there's still a lot of people from those days that I keep in touch with at some point in time, for sure.
That's awesome, man. Any reunions? You've been to a couple of reunions as well, or no, not yet?
Dude, so there's been 2, and I feel so terrible. I wasn't able to make them both for actually really good reasons. I remember the first one, but the second one, it was something with my aunt's, it was her anniversary or something like that. Was with the family. It was a family event. And I didn't want to double plan, so I wasn't able to go. It sucked. I really wanted to go, just because, again, there are some of those people that fall into that group that I haven't really been able to keep in touch with as much as I'd want to.
Right.
But unfortunate that I wasn't able to go to the second one. But shout out to Roger Gonzalez for inviting me to that and wanting me to go to that and really trying to get me to go. And I really wanted to go, and I felt bad for not going, but really, really, and I heard it was an awesome time too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the best years of your life, right? High school, right? Just awesome time. You just want to roll the clock back sometimes, right? When everything was just copacetic, no issues, no worries, no care in the world, just carefree. Now we're adults now, right?
Yes, with adult responsibilities all the time. You look back, you never really realize how easy. I mean, I think that's everyone kind of feels that way, right?
Yeah.
How little responsibilities you actually have. Versus when you get to the age that we are now, and then even older than that. But yeah, definitely, you take it for granted.
Yeah, for sure. Then you landed the job at Cheesecake Factory, right out of high school. Who hired you? How did that come about? How did you even hear about the job? How much you missed the whites? We all had the whites back in the day, right? Then it went to the black.
Of course.
I mean, wow, what a time.
Yes. So, all right. So it was what it turned into. I was working at a place in Stony Point. It was called the Pepper Mill Grill. It was on 9W.
Okay.
And I knew the owner my sister and my brother-in-law knew the owner from another place, and he opened a restaurant. My sister worked there. I started working there, was busboy, host. I did a couple of different things over there. And then he moved locations, right? From one spot in Stony Point to another spot in Stony Point. And what he basically did was he kind of kept a lot of the staff at the restaurant that was at the other location.
Right.
And so I was at the other spot for a little while. And I just it wasn't the same. There wasn't anything wrong with it by any stretch or means of the imagination, but it wasn't the same. So I just didn't really like it. And so I kind of stopped there. A little bit after that, when I was in RCC, I forgot who it was. I think it was either Christina May or Tanya. It was one of them. I don't remember exactly who it was, but it was one of those in one of my classes. I think it was an Italian class.
Right.
And they told me a little bit about it. And it just happened to be at the time where I needed a job. Right. And so I went there, and I think I interviewed with Jim. I'm not positive.
Jim H. Shout out to Jim Hartner.
I think it was Jim. It might have been another guy. Was there a Steve?
Steve Bressler, I believe. Yes, Steve B.
Or Mike Monahan.
Or Mike Monahan, rest in peace. Yeah.
So it was one, because I remember seeing them there. It was some of them, and then it was funny. They were during the interview, I think they were hiring, they were looking for people.
Right.
And I called Stabile.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm like, hey man, like I know you're not happy at the pizza spot that you're working at right now. I'm gonna get a job at this place. It looks awesome. I've heard great things. And they're kind of looking for like other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, come do it, dude.
Right.
And he came, I think it was either that day or day after, and we both kind of got hired at the same time. Wow. So thrown right into the fire, right?
Yeah.
With the obviously, again, I'm not sure how much has changed, but the training was so in depth and it was so intense, and I can still probably remember a lot of the menu items and ingredients and some of the menu items that were there.
For sure.
Just because they really ingrain it and they do a great job with that. But it was a whirlwind. And then other of my friends came there, and it was awesome. It was working with everybody. It was great.
When was the last time you were there? Did you miss it? Bring back some memories? Just a random cheesecake besides the one in Palisades? Did you go to any different locations?
Yeah, so I live very close to the Hackensack location. So
okay.
I'll go every once in a while. It's more order out than go in, but I do go there every once in a while. And of course, man, like, you go there, you miss it, and you see some of this stuff go out, and you just kind of watch the servers, and you kind of see, you're not really comparing them to what you did, but you're just seeing like some of their mannerisms, and like that's a taught mannerism. Like they're gonna ask that, they're gonna drop the Bevnap, they're gonna do like like you remember some of the things. It's like like if I was a secret shopper.
Yeah.
So no, I go and I really do enjoy it, and I love the food there. Who doesn't, man?
Who doesn't, right? You did serving, bartending your entire career. Did you prefer either one? You prefer over the other?
Oh, well, I'll tell you one thing. It definitely was an expo. No, I'm just kidding.
I still expo to this day, man. I love it. I personally love it because that's what we did, right? We did it without. Now there's computers now, right? We had like tickets and water and a soup cup and a China pencil, right?
Yes.
That was it. Yes. That was all we had.
The red and the blue pencil.
Yes, that's all we had. Now it's too easy now. It's it's so super easy.
Yeah. So so it's weird, right? Because I didn't bartend at Cheesecake Factory. I just served in an expo there.
Right.
And I was kind of busting chops, but I did love expo because, I mean, you want to talk about creating ways that you're able to deal with any future pressure in any job that you've ever had.
Yeah.
That's what that prepares you for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And then you'll have any manager or anybody come to you and be like, and just kind of test you, especially in being like, hey, like, tell me what the first 3 tickets are.
Yeah. Are they sold? It is not sold. Why is it not sold? I remember on Expo one time I had like 15 tickets. Maribel comes up and she crumbles off the entire thing and just throws it to the side. I'm just like, so what do we have to do? So I went back and tried to open up one by one. Dude, listen. It was great looking back. It's fun. It was a great time. It prepares you, like you said, challenges in life, how to deal under pressure, how to, adjust to certain things. What a time, man. What a time.
And like, I mean, shout out to all the people, man, there, like, just because like the connections that have been made there, not just with me, just with everyone in that era, right? Like you've been there for a very long time, right? And I'm sure you've seen just like a different, like, almost, I don't want to say crews, but like almost generations. Right?
Different generations now.
Like kind of move in and out. Like, question for you: Have you seen like a culture like that was at that time?
No, I think we had the best culture growing up. Back when we served, I don't think these guys could hold a candle to a flame now. These kids now to this day. Versus back then. No, we were hard workers, gritty. We did doubles. No one cried. No one complained. We did side work, whatever the case may be, hungover, tired, whatever. We all worked and had a good time, right?
Yeah.
Kids now, you got to watch how you speak to them. Everyone's very, it's a different culture, man. You have to watch what you say. People think things a certain way. Everyone's very vanilla now versus back then. I think back then we had much, much tougher skin. I think back then.
Yeah, it really was. But to answer your question, I really did enjoy being a server there. I loved like the stats too, right? Like at the end of the night, you print out like, You go to
The
your buddy,
cash
you're like,
out.
oh, well,
Yeah.
like what was your dessert percentage?
Yeah,
How many comps you get, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like that was all, like I love that.
yeah.
I love that like it was kind of competing,
Yeah, it
right?
was. Yeah, for sure.
And it was and listen, the company like paid attention to it, right?
Yeah,
Like they would like it would little rewards and little shout outs and stuff like
yeah,
that
of
for what
course,
that is. And
of course. Top
you know,
server, top
me being
dessert
in a
sales.
corporate spot now, it's comparable, right? For what that how it made me feel, somebody being like that type of action or work is recognized and
Right,
celebrated, right?
for
So
sure.
really, really cool stuff with that.
Biggest tip you ever got over the years, serving slash bartending, biggest tip you ever got?
I think it was like a $350 tip.
Wow.
Yeah,
Bartending,
yeah.
huh?
It was bartending, but it wasn't
Yeah.
there. It was at the next spot that we went to
Oh,
after
the next
Chick-fil-A.
spot you went to next. Okay.
Yes.
What was your go-to dish at CCF? Ava rolls, Tex-Mex, Thai lettuce wraps.
To
What was
eat?
your go-to?
To eat?
To eat? Oh, they got rid of that. Yeah.
Are you saying
To
what
eat.
was
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
favorite?
Yeah. 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 To eat.
Bro, it
Yeah.
was a spicy cashew chicken, hands down.
Wow. They took that off the
Hands
menu a
down.
couple of years ago. They took that off the menu, man.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
they bring it back?
No, they took it off the menu. They took it off. They took it
Okay,
off.
yeah, it was spicy cashew chicken,
Okay.
well done,
Okay.
no rice, sub mash.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Really? I
Yeah,
don't recall
love
ever
that
seeing you
dish.
eating that dish ever.
I love
Wow.
that dish. Yeah.
Wow.
It was I mean, now obviously, like, you know, club sandwiches.
Yeah.
I did love, I think was it the lemon chicken? Was it the lemon chicken? It was on
Lemon
the
herb roasted
bone?
chicken. Yeah,
Lemon
that
herb
was good
roasted
one.
chicken was
Yeah, that was good.
fantastic,
That was good.
right?
That
Just
was good.
the sauce, the way it was chicken was it was good too. But
Right.
the spicy cashew chicken, man, that was
Hands down, huh?
yeah, man,
Wow.
that was it right there.
People you are friends with right to this day, the Baisleys, the Stabiles. Tell us about that. What others you remain friends with to this day? I mean, throughout the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Baisleys and Sabiels, you know, Keith and Kevin,
Yeah.
obviously, and James as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
And then Stabile, right? Jacqueline,
Yeah.
obviously. You know, I've kept in touch with a couple, you know, a ton of other people,
Okay.
just here and there, and other things, so on and so forth.
Right.
You know, I've spoken with and hung out with. I've seen Melissa. I've seen Debbie. I've seen a ton of other people over the years.
Right.
Julio. I've
Okay.
seen Gil afterwards a couple
Oh, Gil.
times,
Man.
right?
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, you know, on the spot, it's crazy to think about, like, who you see, you know, where it was, but it's just every once in a while you'll see them, they'll pop up, you'll see them out,
Yeah.
and it's always just, you know, having those great conversations and reminiscing and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
For
Brian
sure, man.
Israel, you know, I see Brian.
Man, Brian Israel.
Yeah,
Wow.
Brian, love Brian. I wish I was able to hang out with Brian more. See
Right.
Brian Joel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Joel. Man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
man.
I haven't heard those names in a couple of
Amy,
years, man. Amy. Wow.
Amy. Yeah. So
Wow.
there really, I mean, again, there's just so many. It was so long ago, but there's
Yeah.
awesome connection that we share. That again, when you're there and you're in the weeds
In the
and
trenches. Yeah.
these people in the trenches, these
Yeah.
people become your family, and you're there with them for longer than you're with your family or
Yeah.
friends or anybody else. Like you're there all day, and they're helping you, and you're helping them, and
For sure.
that's you create a bond that just doesn't go away.
For sure. Who was your favorite managers, if you could remember? Anybody back in the day? Your favorite
Oh
managers?
man, I listen. You gotta go. The guy who hired me, it was Jim. I love Jim. Right? Jim was so much fun. Rest in peace, Mike Ricci. He was awesome, man. I
Yeah.
loved working with him.
Yeah.
Just I mean, just his style, his energy, him just bringing it every day. I loved working, and I messed with him so much. I love working with Ed. I don't even
Oh,
remember
Ed.
Ed.
Oh, man. The belt creamers on his belt, man.
Man,
Carmen
love
did that
working with
back in the
Ed.
day,
And
man.
Steve too. Steve was
Steve
great.
B. Yep. Steve B.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and I feel bad. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Like there was a lot,
So
man.
many, a lot of faces,
There
a
were
lot of
so
faces.
many,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And you were at the time, you were at your ascent too, man. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
were growing, and
Yeah.
man, like so well deserved. You did everything for so long, and I always loved working with you, man.
We had a good time.
And J Rod at the time too,
J
obviously.
Rod, yeah, for sure.
You know,
Jimmy Styles, shout out to him. Jimmy
yeah,
Styles.
man,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. Man, what was your last day like there, man? Do you remember your last day at CCF? I think you remember telling me you were leaving. I just couldn't believe you were leaving because we had such a good time working there. The time went so quick, so fast. We did tons of house parties, ice luges, you name it, man. We had a ball of a time. What was your last day there? You remember that day, and what made you want to leave?
So it's a little bit more complicated than that, right?
Okay.
Because it wasn't like like my last day wasn't supposed to be my last day in my
Okay.
mind, right?
Okay.
So what it was, I went away to SUNY New Paltz, and when I was there, I went from being kind of full time to part time, weekends every once in a while,
Yeah.
and that was like kind of cool, right? That was cool for a while,
Right.
and then I believe like when I came back, and I basically, like, me and I think Keith came back,
Right.
and I didn't want to commit to full time, and I think that they were really only hiring for full time, and young hot headed Joe didn't really like that very much, and I think there was a combination of some other underlying reasons
Yeah.
too, that I just don't really want to get into, but
Right.
underlying reasons as well why they may not have wanted me back at that point in time.
Right.
And so like that was it. Like it was bittersweet because in my mind, I'll say to this day, like I really think I contributed a lot, at that place. I put a lot into there, right? I
Yeah.
loved it. I lived, breathed, and ate Cheesecake Factory
Yeah.
for a long time, and I really enjoyed being there. And again, from the things we spoke about before, like low comps, high tip percentage, like everything that the corporate restaurant was looking for, I felt like I was doing it at a pretty good pace. So for me to not really for me to get stonewalled, I was for a little while a little bit bitter about it, but it was something that really, like, you want to talk about a complete fork in the road of just leading me down a different direction that was, in my mind, and everything happens for a reason, very successful. It really did, and it was, and so anything that you sometimes think that could be bring you back, it depends on who you are too, right? Wasn't going to crawl up on a ball. I wasn't going to die. I wasn't going to go to mom and dad and say, hey, listen, I went directly, I think it may have been even the same day or a couple of days after, back to a big circle back, to the owner of Fireside Restaurant in Stony Point,
Right.
Tommy. That's the guy who moved Peppermill to Fireside, right?
Fireside,
and I spoke to him about some of the things that I learned when I was working at McGillicuddy's in New Paltz as a server over there, for some specials and things like that. And he gave me an opportunity to go with the wing night over there. He gave me one night per week to start.
Right.
Kenford, it blew up, man. Like it was an amazing time. So yeah, it kind of stunk a little bit that I didn't go back, and of course I missed it, and I missed the people, even though it was a little bit of a different generation at that point in time, but still some of the same. But I missed the people, I missed the vibes, I just missed the Cheesecake Way, if you will, right?
For sure.
But I missed it. But what it led me to in terms of just service business and another chapter was really a good thing for sure.
Well said, man. Shout out to A-Rod, by the way. We were in the trenches, right? Me, you, A-Rod on Expo, and even Jose, right? Jose as well. Man, those were the days. Hey, Jackson is always well and good. What a guy. I see him from time to time. What a gem. What a guy. Shout out to Jackson, man.
Absolutely. Jackson, man. That one of if not the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. He's still there.
He's still there.
I'm not surprised, but
always good.
Impressed. Always well, always
Always
well.
well, always well.
Oh man, that's great, man.
Yeah,
Great.
I see him.
Please,
Yeah,
if he remembers me,
I'll
I
tell
hope
him.
he does. Please
I'll
tell him
tell
this.
him. Yeah, for sure. I'll tell him for sure. I'll show him this for sure, and then he'll be like, "Oh,
Awesome.
I remember you for sure." Speaking of Joe Conchi, NJC, Director of Sales, Supervisor of Altice USA. So life has been at the Cheesecake Factory, right? You had a couple of jobs, couple of gigs, right? Freelancer, fragrance specialist in Altice, which took off, bartender, server, all that good stuff. That freelancer thing, man, what was that like, man? Fragrance, man. I mean, man, oh man, what kind of gig was that?
Dude, so funny. So that was it was like a side gig. My sister,
Okay.
she's a jack of all trades, right?
Yeah.
She does a ton of different things. And that's one of the things. And while going to college again,
Yeah.
and even a little bit after seasonally, they need vendors. They just have vendors. And it's literally the people who are like that spray the thing and give it to you and like, hey, what like are you looking for this? Are you looking for that?
Yeah.
And at the time, it was like 20 some odd dollars an hour.
Wow.
And yes, right, exactly. So my sister's like, hey, we need hours. This is something you could do. Get black clothes, show up here. And she like trained me. And it was really not, I mean, listen, it's a little bit more difficult than you think, right? It's not as easy as I'm making it sound.
As it seems,
it's more difficult than you think. And typically people kind of know what they want. But there's like, you can't go in, you're not supposed to go in people's counter spaces. And if somebody asks you for something, like you need to kind of switch which person is going to check you out or else they're going to get mad. There's like politics to it. It's the craziest thing in the world. Really? But yeah. So that was almost, obviously everything that we do prepares you for being able to sell and your personality to deal with patients and adversities and stuff like that. But that was really one of my first kind of selling jobs. And again, just mostly seasonally, needed some extra scratch, right? My sister gave me the opportunity, ran with it, did it a couple of years in a row. But fun, different, and all part of the contribution to make you a good salesperson, I guess, right?
And that pretty much set you up for where you're at right now, right? 13 years with Altice Optimum, right? How cool is that gig? I mean, that's just taken off.
Yeah, it's man, so much to say, right? Never in my life did I expect this, right? It was never really part of the plan, right? Like after I graduated, did not go back to Cheesecake, started that bartending gig. It was not part of the plan. It really wasn't. I graduated secondary education in history from New Paltz. Was interviewing at a couple of different spots. At that time, it was like the 2010-ish time. That was when that bubble kind of burst, right? Where for every position that there was, it didn't matter what it was, there was 500 plus applications for it, right? And I just, I didn't want to go into New York City and teach. Like I didn't want it for what the salary was and the commute and like, I just didn't want to do it. So that's why I kind of took the bartending gig and I rode that out for a couple of years and it was really, really good. Big shout out, Greg Strauss, right? Greg Strauss. He was a person who got me into Optimum. Never forget, right? He asked me a few times when I was bartending, he's like, hey, listen, I'm doing this gig. You might have heard of it. It's Optimum, like cable company. What about them? He's like, I've been doing it and I've been doing really good. It's a lot of money, this and the other thing. And I could not be more dejected. I'm like, dude, like I'm bartending here. I'm making X amount. Like this place is packed. Like I'm doing well, dude.
Right.
Fast forward after all that, still doing well. He comes into the restaurant for lunch one day, like with I think it was a couple of his buddies, some people that worked, and it just happened to be in like the new year, and he slapped his W-2 down on the bar, and I saw it, and I was like, all right, you have my attention, right? So and listen, the guy, he was awesome. He was really good at the job. And I knew my personality, and I knew his personality. I knew my personality. I'm like, hey, Greg has a pretty similar personality than I do, and if you can do this really well, I think I can also do it pretty well, right? And so it was a really tough decision. To leave like man, listen, leaving the service business is tough.
It's tough. It draws you in, and it's hard to leave.
Draws you
Yeah,
in, and the
yeah,
passion,
yeah,
but I stepped out of my comfort zone. My parents couldn't be any more disappointed that I was doing it.
yeah,
Right? Graduated from college, like doing this. They're like, wait, what? Like you're
yeah,
gonna work for the cable company and
yeah,
you're gonna knock on people's doors.
yeah,
And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, oh God. Right. So
yeah,
it took a while. And I hit the ground running, Ken. I really did.
yeah,
Like it was it the training, very intense, awesome. And it's one of those things where it's not for everybody. It really
yeah.
isn't. You
It
have to
really
have that
isn't.
thick skin that was developed, right?
Yeah,
From bartending, from
serving, cheesecake. Yeah,
yes, all that. You have to have the thick skin. You have to have short-term memory. You have to have excitement. You have to at every door. You have to be on a stage, right?
yeah, yeah,
And you have to rinse and repeat. No one's watching you,
yeah.
right? Like
Right.
you have to be self-motivated.
Yeah,
You have to work hard, and you got to not stop. And I think you know me. I'm pretty competitive. There's a big
yeah,
board at the office that says who's got the most X, Y, and Z. And I wanted to be at the top of that.
yeah.
Right? I've worked really hard to try to do that.
For sure.
And I did. Like
Yeah,
I climbed the ranks early and often, and I did it right. And eventually, my parents came to terms with it. They saw that it wasn't like a fly by night type of job. They saw that there was possibility for upward mobility
right.
and growing with the company. They saw financially that I was doing well. I'll never forget when I got the buy-in,
Yeah.
the actual buy-in from my dad. We had a President's Club dinner, and it was at Marina Del Rey in the Bronx,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And
Okay.
they did it really really up the right way there.
Yeah,
And my dad, he came with me like it was like it's a suit and tie. It's
yeah.
a really good thing.
Big
So
deal.
he went and he saw like what it was about, like
Right.
what the energy was, what the vibe was, what the people were, professionals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And he was and at that point I knew that like he got it,
yeah,
and I knew at that point in time he was proud, right? And that
yeah.
made me really happy, right?
That's awesome.
So definitely really really great transition to that, again, taking a step out of comfort zone
Comfort zone.
into
Yeah.
something I didn't even knew existed.
I'm really surprised because you never got a gig up here as a teacher, right? In Rockland. I mean, the city was one thing, but you went to school for history, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Stabile's a teacher, Jackie's a teacher, Baisley's
Mhm.
Keith. I mean, all these friends are teachers, right? My mom's a teacher. I'm surprised, like, no one gave you a look in Rockland County. Like, okay, we're gonna get this guy. He's great. Like, he's fantastic. He lives close by in the county. Let's give him a shot. See what happens. How
I
hard is
know.
it to get a job here versus the city?
So I mean, at that time,
Yeah.
very.
Okay. Okay.
At the time, very. I think that's what it was, and I think that everyone that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
I think that they went into different spots
Okay.
for sure, or it was one of those things where there was a vacancy from after their student teaching, where they
Okay.
kind of stepped in and kind of did that type of thing. Not positive, but I think
Okay.
that was some of it.
Right.
And I just I listen. Your guess is as good as mine, man.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, again, for every door that doesn't open, there's another one that is open,
Yeah.
and that's how I've always been. Just to take it, whatever I can get, I'm going to get. I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can at it,
Yeah.
and be the best I possibly can at it, and that's it, man.
So no regrets, huh? At all, not being a
No,
teacher.
no, none, man,
Yeah.
none.
Okay.
I love what I do. And again, at this point in time, I've moved to be a sales supervisor at this point in time. So
Right.
I'm not knocking on doors regularly, but I have a team that does, and I can relate
Okay.
because I was out there. I was doing it
Right. You were doing
for
it so
7
long.
years. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it for a
Yeah.
long time, man.
Right.
And again, like thank God I'm blessed with what that's earned me
Yeah.
over the years, and I couldn't be more grateful for the company that I work for and the support that the management team and upper management, everybody that I work with and for, has
Right.
given me over the course of the past several years for me to be as successful as I've been.
For sure. Um. Yeah. It's just crazy looking back, man. The whites serving, bartending. Are those days over? Is it done? Where's the whites serving, bartending? What happens now, man? Is it over? Is it done?
It's listen, I love what I do, but my passion is is food. It's the service business. It's the food business. It's cooking.
Yeah.
If you ask every single person that I'm friends with, family members, girlfriend, ever, like if you ask anybody, right,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
will tell you that Joe loves cooking and Joe loves cooking for people.
Right.
Right. I do love it. And I've gotten good at it at a couple different things over the years. So never say never with that, right? Definitely never say never. You hear stories all the time, right? I watch a lot of Food Network and Travel Channel stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like one of the most popular stories that you see is like on these food channels, and like
Yeah.
when they're going to restaurants, it's like, you know, Johnny here was in the corporate world for 35 years and he hung it up and he opened this burger shop and now
Yeah.
he's got the most, like that story happens so much. So like I
Yeah.
see that, I'm like, oh, like my
Yeah.
God, right? Yeah. So you never say never. Is it possible? Yes.
Yeah.
Right this second, probably not. But in the future, man, I'm always open for opportunity, man.
Yeah. I still got my whites somewhere upstairs in my closets. One of my closets. I kept them. It's just crazy.
I have them someplace too. The apron,
Yeah.
I think the pants, and I was going through some stuff when I was, because I'm redoing my basement. And I was going through
Right.
some stuff when they were like kind of putting stuff in the pod to move it out,
Right.
and I had like 10 Cheesecake Factory checkbooks, bro. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I was like, oh my
Oh
God.
man, we're
Yeah.
always running low on those things, and it's like, you want to give them like maybe a green ticket for every 10 they bring back that's in their car or in
Yeah.
their trunk or wherever it is. So you still had those check
Mhm.
presenters. Amazing,
You want
amazing,
the vintage
amazing.
style, man. If you,
Yeah.
I'll give you 10. That seems like a perfect trade. I'll give you 10 of those for a
10
green
for a
ticket.
green for manager green. Awesome, man.
Absolutely, bro.
Your love for dogs, man. I remember seeing you when I was at your house a couple of years ago, doing a fantasy draft. You had a big dog there. Is he still alive? Eventually, he passed away, right? I think he did. I think I saw you posted something online. How tough was that for you? And did you get another dog?
Yes, so awesome question.
Yeah,
So, I forgot the exact year. Do you remember which year you were
I
here?
think it was like maybe 16, 17-ish
Okay.
ish. Yeah.
So at that point in time, I think I had one dog, right?
Okay.
It grew to three at one point in time during
Wow.
COVID, right? Yes,
Wow.
yes, I
Wow.
know, I'm nuts for it. So the dog, the dog that you met, the black dog Tully,
Yeah.
he was a OG, man. Like I
Yeah.
got him when I was living in New City,
Okay.
with my roommates there, PJ and Chris.
Yeah.
And he was such an awesome dog, man. Yeah, he lasted for a really long time, and that dog, man, something about him, he
Yeah.
never aged, dude. That's why, like, at the end it was so tough because he just got like skinny, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he never got gray like me. Like I was like, dude,
Yeah.
like who the do you think
Yeah.
you are, man? Like you're older than me, man,
Yeah.
and I
Right.
got these grays and you don't got
You don't got
anything,
anything. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it's always, and I had dogs growing up and stuff like that too. So that day and what leads up to that and is just, it's the worst, right? It's
Yeah.
just a family member.
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole process it doesn't get any more awful than that. But
Right.
I have two more dogs now.
Okay.
And they were all together at once at one point in time, so they all know each
They know
other.
each other. Yeah.
But I have Bobo now and I have Pupper,
Awesome,
and
man.
they're both awesome, man. They're
Yeah.
great dogs. Pupper is a COVID dog, so he's a little bit timid, right?
Okay.
At first, like when we were all kind of locked in the house,
Yeah.
and I got him, and there was really no, you couldn't go to dog parks, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It was really difficult for him to socialize,
Right.
and long term, unfortunately, that affected him.
Mhm.
So he warms up to people eventually, but this guy Bobo over here, man,
Yeah.
he really is a riot, dude. He's a husky boxer, and what is he, husky a Nikita mix,
Nikita mix.
big boy, but just as gentle as can be,
Right.
so loving, and just he's my buddy. He sings.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah, the husky in him. He sings all the time, and he's an awesome. He's a great pet to have, man.
They always say dogs are man's best friends, right? How true is
Yeah.
that statement, right? You
Oh
could
my
relate
God.
to that?
It's true. I mean, it's unconditional. It's always unconditional. And just, and I got to speak for anybody. Like, I'm a big rescue guy. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to anybody who buys dogs, right? That's your own choice.
Right.
But I will die on the cross of a rescue dog will appreciate and love you more for all of its life and for your life. It's
Wow.
just, for me, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
They have a different type of love and appreciation, I believe. I could be wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
but that's my belief. And they
Right.
do, you know, whether you're coming home from work and again, I don't know how well they know time. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I can go out to the
Yeah.
grocery store and come back,
They
or I can
know
be away for a week. And it's a pretty similar reaction of
for
happiness
sure.
to see me, you know?
For sure.
So it really is an awesome thing to have. I love dogs, man. I always have.
Are you a fan of cats, by the way, or just you never took to cats?
It's not that I don't like them. It's just I've really never had that great of an experience with cats. For me, it's like they'll come up to you and they're cool, and
Right.
then you'll pet them,
Yeah.
and then they'll kind of, you know, they'll allow you to pet them to a certain point,
Right.
and then there could be like a freak out situation where you're getting
Yeah.
caught or bit, right? And it's like I
Right.
don't know what I did to deserve that. So
Right.
I've had that a couple times, and so my trust level is just a little bit on the low side.
Right.
Hope you can't blame me. Don't. I'll do it every time. I'll try it.
Yeah.
But you know, if it happens, it's like all right. Like I'm always just a little bit more apprehensive. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Towards them. Any advice for someone going through that right now? Either one to pick as a pet, a cat, or a dog? Who's easier to train, by the way? Your opinion.
Ooh, you need to have a lot. Listen, an animal is a responsibility for its entire life, right? It doesn't, which is so you're not going to give up patience on what that looks like. So
Yeah.
every single animal, whether a cat or dog, is going to have a different timeline and of what training looks like. I
Right.
know that firsthand. But I would say, I mean, again, just based on my experience,
Yeah.
I'm going to lean to dog, man. Like I
Dogs.
have to. I have to lean to dog. I'm biased, man. I'm biased.
You like a certain type of breed or a dog, or it doesn't matter what kind of breeds they are for you? It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, I guess for me, just you know, growing up, we always kind of had like as a family, we kind of had like a little like fluffier, like a little longer hair dogs.
Okay.
So when I was kind of looking for like when I was adopting other dogs, I kind of always kind of had that. But my like one of my dogs, Bobo, he's short haired. Like so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
I mean, again, like they all need love and they all have a lot of love
Right.
to give, man. They
Yeah.
really do.
Man, that's awesome. What was your first dog's name, by the way, when you were back
First
in the
dog,
day?
Goldie,
Yeah.
was
Goldie.
young.
Wow.
Goldie, yes. This again, Italian household.
Yeah.
You know how there's like outdoor cats,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Goldie was an outdoor dog. Like
Wow.
Goldie was an out. Goldie, like we lived on Lincoln Oval in Stony Point, right? Shout out to the Oval.
Yeah.
And Goldie would just roam, and everybody knew Goldie, and she would just come and go. Like we had a gate and a fence in the backyard, but
Right.
she would just go. She would just be out and about, and she would
Man.
come back and go, and never, you know,
Yeah.
very wise, like Master
Yeah.
Splinter wise. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
wise dog. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
was young. I was very young for this.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Goldie. That's awesome, dude. Also now your love for fishing, right? Like I've seen you over the years catching some big boys. What's that been that experience? What's that been like onto? How do you even get involved in fishing?
Awesome question.
Yeah.
So I do love fishing. I love
Yeah.
saltwater fishing. Yeah.
Salt. Okay.
The shout out to Andrew Ciandra on that, my buddy Andrew. You know, I've been friends with him for a really long time, and Chris Braun. And they kind of got me, you know, growing up in Sunny Point, I was right next to the Hudson River, right? Like right there, right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, Andrews had his boat, his father's boat over at the Elks in Haverstraw for
Okay.
quite some time. And, you know, they were always did it. And I was always like, at first, I was just, let me check this out. Like, let me learn, right? Let me learn
Right.
what to do here.
Right.
And we're going back now. It has to be at least 10 to 15 years plus, you know, when we went and really got into it and, you know, had some small work trips out to Long Island, like Montauk, Orient Point,
Yeah.
with some of the work people. Every year we do, out of I think it's New Rochelle,
New Rochelle.
Soundbound Charters. Again,
Okay.
free advertisement for them. They do a
Yeah.
great job. They have head boats, right? Party boats with a ton, or you can do just like what's it called? The charter boat, which fits anywhere between, you know, 10 and 12 plus. and they do an awesome job. So I go with work people, kind of mix some work people, some regular friends, right? And we go every year for stripers and I think, yeah, mostly stripers and bluefish, in the Long Island Sound. So try to get out there as often as possible, and I love it. Like, they're great fish. They're great fish to catch. They're strong, and they're really good to eat too.
When's the best time to go? Summertime, springtime? Does it matter? Or
so it depends on where you go, right? So in the Hudson River, when you go out, it's usually between, I believe, the middle of April, or like kind of the beginning, middle of April, and then all the way to like May, like middle end of May, right? The striped bass, they come from the ocean, and they basically go to spawn up the Hudson River. So you're getting them, you're trying to get them when they're going up, right? They're hungry, they're going to spawn, and they come back. They come back, Can you get them on the way back? Yeah, but not as much. And it's crazy. Like, you have to have like really good conditions with this, right? You're on a boat, and you're anchoring up, right? And you have to have the wind the same direction as a tide, right? So when you're anchored and the wind is coming at you, that's the way you want it, because then the fishing line will be out, and you can feel the fish hitting it. If anything's not going in that direction, you might have a fish on, you're not going to know it, it'll eat it, you're not going to catch it, and that's it. So it's got to be pretty particular, specific conditions for this to happen. And you don't always get it, man. You really don't always get it. So it's when we're able to go out there and have a great time with that, and you have a couple beers, you have you're eating sandwiches, you're talking, it's a really, really great, relaxing, therapeutic, fun time, man, for sure.
Your first time versus doing fishing versus now, you're like, ever think this is going to be a thing, or just like, I'm just going to go and have fun and see what happens, but never thought in your wildest dreams you'll be like loving this right now to this day?
I knew it, dude. I knew it. I definitely knew it. Like, just from the get-go, right? Like, you see it, and you catch, like, you hook one, and then you fight it, and then you bring it in, right? And you're like, wait a second, like, they're big, man. Like, they're big fish, right? They're huge, and it's like when you're looking at the Hudson River, for the most part, like, you're not. At least me, like, I'm not thinking like there's like some monster striped bass and sturgeon and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of big, huge ecosystem and fish in there, and it's really cool to really get in on that, for sure. It's a lot of fun.
What are some essentials you need in order to go fishing? What's good bait versus bad bait in your opinion?
Okay. So you got to get so it depends on the type of year, on the time of year, where you're at, and what part of the season it is, believe it or not, right? So herring sometimes in the beginning of the season, and then bunker in the second half of the season. Some people do eels. Right. The further up, and it changes. Like, if you go further up the river, they use different things at different times, and I don't really even know all that. I know the spot that we go, and I know that it works. Right.
That it works. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, but fresh, it's got to be the bunker's got to be. It's got to be fresh fish. They're smart, man. They know. They know. Like, if it's not, if it ain't good, like, they're not. They won't eat it. They're picky.
What's the biggest catch, man? I saw this huge fish you caught, man. You ever throw them back? You kept them over the years? That was
so
big monster one you caught, right?
Yes, there's very strict, rules, laws, basically, on what you're able to keep, and they change slightly every year. So the really, really big ones, sometimes, and it depends on the year. Sometimes you're able to keep them. Sometimes you're not. That big, I can't remember for the life of me. There was a real, I think it was almost 30, 35, 40 pound striper, and it was almost 50 plus inches long. It was huge. And I think that we threw that one back. Live to fight another day, right? So it was.
You ever get thrown overboard or anything like that? You know how to swim, right?
I do. I do.
You see these videos on YouTube sometimes, right? You're fighting with the fish, you're going this way, one way, you end up overboard. I mean, that's kind of dangerous, man. What do you think? You ever had that happen to you before? Any adventures with that?
No. Thankfully, for the most part, like, especially in the Hudson can get nasty. It can get choppy, but for the most part, if you we're looking at the weather report, we're looking at the wind, we're looking like you got to really be prepared for these types of things. If there's going to be like a big line of thunderstorms in the area, like we're probably not going to go out,
Right.
And the same is true with what the captains do when you're on these charter boats, right? There's a chance that it's going to get real dicey. They'll be like, hey, listen, man, we got to call it off for the day. We're not going out.
We're not going out. Yeah.
So thankfully, I haven't really been put in that position for that to happen.
Yeah. Man, Florida, those Marlins, man, oh man. What's the craziest fishing story you ever encountered? You remember?
So
years.
We went. It was myself, my father, my uncle, and my cousin. We went on a head boat, right, like a party boat,
right?
And I don't remember what type of fish we're looking for, but cast it out. My cousin, he catches a fishing pole. Okay. He reels in a fishing pole. Okay?
Man. Yeah.
Because the party boats, they kind of have their spots where
they go. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, but still, like the chances of that are wild, right?
Yeah. Right.
Catches a fishing pole. It's in very good shape. It's just not like it couldn't have been there for more than a week or so, I want to say.
Wow.
Right?
Fairly fresh. Wow.
Fairly fresh. When he pulls it in, he notices the line is out, reels up the line from the fishing pole he caught, and caught the pool fish, the biggest fish on the boat that day.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
The luck of that, I mean, it's just wild.
Yeah, 1 in a million. Yeah.
1 in a million.
Yeah, 1 in a million.
Yes.
Man.
Really, really crazy stuff.
When's the next time you're planning on going fishing?
As soon as the striper season. Hopefully my buddy's got his boat in the water, his father's boat in the water. Man, when it's game time is game time. I wait for the call. I'm always pestering. I'm like, Andrew, your dad's boat in the water. When are we going? When are we going? So I'm always calling him, asking him when we can go for sure.
How many rods you got on you? How many rods you got in your house? What kind of bait you? Just two?
Just two. Yeah, two fishing rods. Yeah, nothing crazy. I don't, because I'm going for basically one type of thing, one thing only. If I need to switch up like the fishing line or the tackle and stuff like that, you could always do that. Okay. But just two, like one bigger one smaller one.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Speaking of Joe Conchi, NJC Director of Sales Supervisor of Altice USA, your love for the New Jersey Devils, how did that come about? You never took to the Rangers. How come? Is there sports hate for them?
Yes. Of course there is. It's a simple story. When it was 1993, and my next door neighbor had, I think, corporate tickets, regular tickets for, I think it was Brendan Byrne Arena at that point in time. Mm-hmm. My father was a big soccer fan at the time. We didn't know hockey that much. And he decided to bring myself, my next door neighbors, and him to the game. And never forget just stepping from the concourse to the stairs where the ice was and seeing the logo.
Yeah,
I saw the logo. I sat down. I was young. I was very young, and I watched, and I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with the team. It was the first. We were, and my father was too. We both fell for it at the same time, right?
Wow.
We were instantly hooked, and we started watching at that time. So it was, it was before. So anybody who thinks, Joe Conchi's a front runner Devils fan because they won cups so recently, started watching them before they won their first ever cup in '93. Wow. Got ticket for that someplace. So it was awesome. And to answer your question, I don't like the Rangers at all. I don't. They're a rival, man. And I'm sorry, I've been called old school, but it's not. I'm not one of those like, oh, respect. I hate the Rangers. I hate them, man. Like, I hate the team. Always have, always will. Even though my growing hatred for Carolina is growing more and more every season.
Yeah. Did you guys go to games? Is it Izod back in the day, right? It was Izod, and then the Rock now, the Prudential Center, right?
Continent. It was Brendan Byrne, and then it was
Byrne Arena.
It was something else, and it was Continental.
Yeah,
Airlines
yeah,
Arena for a
yeah.
little bit. Now I think it's the Izod Center, but I think it's vacant,
I think it's
right?
vacant. I think it's anybody. That's a
Yeah.
cool arena, man. A lot of memories in there, man.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
memories.
A ton.
Who would you rather be in career? Would you rather have Marty Brodeur or Mike Richter's career?
I mean, I think you have to say Marty, and I don't even think it's biased. You
Because of
think
rings,
about
or just
you think about just the accolades, the accomplishments, right? The amount of the most shutouts ever, the most wins ever, right?
yeah,
The longevity that he had. He has most of the records, cups, right? So you got to say Marty with that, no doubt
yeah.
about it.
Thoughts on the 2026 Devils so far? What do you like so far? What do you like? What do you don't like so far?
So, listen, I'm looking over here right now. I'm seeing them
Yeah.
on another. Looks like they're on their way to another loss after getting absolutely decimated by the New York Islanders 9-0 the other day.
Wow.
It's tough, man. Right? Like it really is tough. I love this team. I've loved this team forever.
Your whole life. Yeah.
Whole life. You really
Yeah.
won't find a fan as involved and as passionate as me. It sucks to see whatever. I don't know exactly what's happening right now,
Okay.
but it's not good, right? They started the year basically for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the year on top of the NHL standings. It was like them in Colorado, back and forth, back and forth. And then Jack Hughes got hurt. That's their star player. Anybody doesn't know, he got hurt.
Mhm.
Some type of incident that happened at a steakhouse in Chicago. Very murky details.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very murky details.
Yeah.
And it seems like something happened, right? He hurt his finger. He got cut, right? I saw a very clever post that somebody did on it. It was either Instagram or Facebook, and it was a picture of the Devils that night in that Chicago steakhouse. Next to it was a picture of ODB on the boat, right? Right? So
the Giants,
right.
Yeah.
So and the caption was, "These are the same picture,"
It's a curse,
right?
yeah.
Like, so it's one of those things. I don't really know what happened. They have an unbelievable amount of talent on the team.
Yeah.
Cap-friendly deals from superstar players, or what should be superstar players, that are locked up. I mean, you're talking about what should be one of the best top lines in the league right now. Defensive prowess that's been coming up and been highly regarded as some of the highest prospects from draft picks that we've gotten for such a long time. Both Hughes brothers underperforming right now, unfortunately, right? So there's definitely some type of culture issue that's going on that I really, again, I don't know what it is. They're not clicking. The chemistry is not there. It says a lot when you're losing 5 or 6 or 7 plus nothing, and your coach doesn't pull the goalie out of the game. Like, that's unheard of, right? So there's something happening here that we don't know. I don't know if the core of the team needs to be changed. From what I read, and you can't believe everything that you read, but from what I've read, management, whether GM and coach, aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So every day, every loss that they're doing, that they're having right now is contributing to another step back and another step back. And you have a Metropolitan Division that's so competitive this year. It's always competitive, but it's really competitive this year.
Right.
And it really, with the expectations that were going into this season, I think that they were going into the year maybe the third or fourth highest, Vegas odds to win the cup. Like, they were up there.
They were up there, yeah.
For this type of free fall that's happening right now is beyond anything that anybody could have expected. And I hate it. Being a Jets and a Mets fan, this is it's more of the same. Misery.
How many games have you been to so far this season? You've been to a couple games so far?
I've been to probably, I think, like 4 or 5 games this season. I try to get to as many games as I can.
Season ticket holder now or no?
Used to be. Yeah, used to be. But the schedule that I'm at, that I have right now, it doesn't work. You can't do it, really.
The glory days of the Devils, you ever got into it with any opposing teams, fans or anything like that, back and forth, or
yes.
you were well behaved?
I was not. Well, I was okay, but I got hit. I got hit really. I got punched really hard in the face.
Really?
Yeah, leaving the Prudential Center.
Man,
My
what kind of
wonderful
team was this? What team was
it
this
was
where you guys
it
were
was the
playing?
New York Rangers, don't you know,
Oh,
man?
Rangers, man.
Yeah.
Us
I
Ranger
mean, listen,
fans.
I was talking a ton of shit, right?
Okay.
But we won and we were at home, right? It doesn't give
Yeah.
you, and I got sucker punched, and that sucked. I could
Man.
ruin my jersey.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was and then there was extracurriculars afterwards, but that was not fun. That was a crappy time. That was a long train ride home, bro. That
Yeah.
was a bad train ride home.
You filed charges with this guy that sucker
No, I
punched
don't know. He
you?
disappeared into the abyss.
Oh
No,
man.
that's
Ranger fans. Man, our Ranger fans, we pretty much strip everything down to the bone right now. So my Rangers are terrible right now. It's just I don't even know what to expect. It's just in the dumps, man. They're in the dumps. They're in the dumps right now. Pretty much everybody got traded, right?
they
So
did. They
started
did.
from the bottom up. Yeah.
It's one of those things they have like their core is a little bit older and they have some at this point some non cap friendly deals on the table, right?
Yeah.
Contracts on the table with some of their players who
Right.
are still very good, but you need some spark plugs there for sure. You need some spark plugs. You need
Yeah.
a little bit more grit. I was surprised that they let go of some of the people, the Kreiders of the world,
Writers of yeah.
like I was surprised I got rid of a lot of the Truba. Like that was
Yeah.
like that's like really changing
Yeah.
the identity
Yeah.
of and culture of that team for sure.
Last
I
couple
was
seasons
very,
were
I mean, I
really
was like,
fun.
for me, I was like, all right, we don't have
Yeah,
to deal
good
with
for
those
you.
guys.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, don't got to deal with the Trouba train coming through and
Yeah.
erecting Devils players in the middle of the ice anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, some surprising moves. Surprising moves.
You guys won a few cups over the years. Did you go to any parades back in your heyday?
I
Never
didn't.
been.
I
Okay.
didn't. Yeah. So I was young. I think the last one was 2003. So I was
Okay.
a junior in high school.
Okay.
And so I celebrated it, man. I felt like I remember going to school that next day, and I was going like, was I still in? Were we still in school at that point in time? I think we may have been. I think it's still in the beginning of June when it happened. So I think it was right towards the end of the school year. I feel like,
Right.
and I just remember just chest out like that. But no, we did not go to any of the parades.
Okay. Gotcha. Fighting in hockey, you all for it in general? You want it gone from the sport? Your thoughts on fighting in hockey? Where do you
It's
see
gone
it?
down over the years, right? I mean,
Okay.
it's had a little bit of a resurgence, but there's a time and a place for it.
Yeah.
It's not like two goons that are there that just wanna beat the snot out of each other.
Yeah.
There's a reason for fights in hockey. It's a shift in momentum. If one of your guys gets hit the wrong way, one of your star players gets hit, maybe even the wrong way, or somebody gets hit the wrong way, either or both of those two things, you better believe that there's going to be hell to pay for it the next time you get on the ice. It's a rite of passage, right?
For sure.
And what that does is it basically it sets the expectation for the team and that player. Like next time you're going to think twice before you hit our player or a player in that type of way or that type of fashion, or our goalie, whatever it is, right? So it doesn't typically come without reasoning, and it's not necessarily whether or not the player wins the fight. It's what it does to the psyche of the players that are on the bench,
Right.
the goalie, everybody, the fans. There's a big psychological reason behind fighting. I'm for it 100%.
Okay. That's fair.
For
Right.
you never want to see any, and the majors, what it does for the game is, I think, very important.
For sure. I mean, Bob Probert, Ty Domi, right? I mean, Marty McSorley, Dave Semico, Tiger Williams. I mean, Remke, he's a tough guy, Ranger tough guy. He had a fight a couple days, like a while ago, and then the next day he was in Cheesecake Factory, and we're taking pictures with him and his black eye. I mean, Remke, what do you make of Remke, man? Tough guy. What are your thoughts on Remke?
Yeah, so my opinion of him has changed a little bit over the course of the past several years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's huge. He's humongous,
Huge
right?
guy, huge.
He's a big guy. So, when you're that young and you get called up, and he set the stage for himself basically because I think it was one of the Winter Classics that he wanted to drop the gloves with Matt Martin of the Islanders, right? A couple years back. And it was, you have 80,000 in attendance. nationally broadcasted game. I think it was his first game ever. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And he dropped the gloves and he had a great bout with that guy. So now you're on the map, right?
Correct.
So you kind of do that to yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe he wanted it, maybe he didn't. It was a result of what that looks like.
Yeah.
But he held his own. The problem that I had moving after that is some of the hits that he made, right?
Mhm.
Some of them were just, it happens so quickly on the ice, man. Like it happens very quickly, but some of them could have been preventable. And he did hurt some people.
Right.
So that I obviously didn't like. The other part is you have a guy who's 6'1", 5'10", whatever the case may be, hit somebody, right? Chances are you're going to hit them around their chest and shoulder area. Unfortunately, based on how big he is, and you put skates on him, you try to go in for that same hit, you're going to hit someone's head, right?
Right.
So it's a combination of pretty bad decision making in real time for him that he has to be smarter, and he's gotten smarter.
Yeah.
And the target that he was able to put on his own back based on him dropping the gloves when he did, how he did it, right? So yeah, he's tough. Is he good for the Rangers? Well, that's in the eye of the beholder, right? If he takes a 5-minute major for boarding somebody and the other team scores 2 goals during
Power
that,
play goals,
he's not good for it, right?
Yeah, it's not
so that depends on what that decision looks like for them and what the team thinks is important for them during that particular time.
What does a check feel like? How hard is it in the body? What does it feel like?
It all depends on if you're expecting it or not, right? Like anything else.
So if you see it coming, it's different from versus not seeing it coming at all.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're wearing the padding, so, especially if it's open ice and you're falling down, you're getting contorted and twisted up. Yeah. Like you're going to feel it. If it's against the boards, right?
Yeah.
And, you have your shoulder and it's it's a clean hip, you're going to be okay. Even if it's a hip check and you kind of go end over end, you're kind of, you're landing on the ice, which is hard, but you have a decent amount of padding on. What hurts a lot more is blocking a shot. Without a doubt,
man. I see guys do that stuff all the time. One thing you do it in video games, right? You do that stuff in real life. That's got to hurt, right? That puck is coming so fast.
It depends. Like, I mean, listen, you have a lot of padding, but there's places where you don't, right? Like you get hit, like there's no padding from your knee caps up like to your thighs. Like, yes, that's a pretty thick area, but man, you get peppered, you get hit over there, man. God, it hurts for a long time, right? Man. And there's no padding behind your legs either, right?
Right.
On your calves. So hands, like even the gloves are thick, man, but you get hit on your arms or your hands, man. It hurts, bro. It really hurts. And it hurts for a long time.
Yeah. Man, oh man. And hockey, they got some really tough guys. It's a tough sport. Guys are really tough in hockey, man. They are really, really tough guys in hockey. Talk about the spectacles in hockey, right? We have the hat tricks, you throw hats at the Joe, you see the octopus, and then the outdoor spectacle, the outdoor classic.
Yeah.
Oh, are you a fan of these things in hockey? How cool is that, man?
Awesome. I mean, I went to both of the Devils games that were outdoor. I went to the one in Yankee Stadium in 2000 and I think it was 2012 or 2011.
It's a different feel, right? Different.
Oh yeah, it's a different feel. Well, it didn't help that it was that by the time I was halfway done, my beer was frozen at that point. It was crazy cold. And the sight lines for that one weren't great. They're a lot better in a football stadium than they are in a baseball stadium. The sight lines are very good, but again, the feel, right? Like when I went to the one, I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago at MetLife, Devils versus Flyers.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like just tailgating, right? Tailgating for hockey. It's like you're seeing 80,000, hockey fans. Like you just don't see it. The energy that's there, like. There's a different energy. I don't care what you say. There's a different energy from a hockey fan than any other fan, right? So when you get that and you compartmentalize that at MetLife Stadium parking lot, right, with Flyers fans and Devils fans, and it really was. I've never seen so many Devils fans in one spot in my entire life.
A sea of red, right? I'm sure.
A sea of red, right? And it helped that. Like I love that those Stadium Series jerseys.
Yeah.
Fire too. Really upset I wasn't able to get one of those when I could, but it was an amazing. That probably was one of my top 5 favorite Devils games I've ever been to in my entire life.
For sure, that outdoor classic. They struck gold with that thing, and they never do away with that for sure. What's your top 5 Devils of all time? You got a list today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I
Okay.
definitely do. So you
Okay.
got to have the classics, right? Like because you have to say it, man. Like Marty's up there, and this is in no particular order, but
Okay.
Marty's up there. Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermeyer, and then two that people might not really remember, not
Yeah.
but some fan favorites: Bobby Holik and Randy McKay.
Bobby Holik and McKay. Man, I haven't
Yeah,
heard those names in a long
tougher
time.
guys, man. Bobby Holik, man. Like both of those guys, like just hard nosed, no bullshit guys who just really, really they were able to pester you. They were able to drop the gloves. They were able to score goals, get in nasty areas,
Yeah.
take hits. They like those guys were the blue collar Devils, identity back then. Like they just they were fearless. And for special shout out, little side one, Claude Lemieux, bro. Like that guy
Claude
was
Review. Yeah.
unbelievable. Like he was just a
Unbelievable.
pest, bro. He
Yeah.
was a pest. One of those guys, love for your team, hate if he's on the other team.
Right.
But did it all. Did it all.
Yeah.
Scored the goals. He wasn't just a like a brawler. He wasn't just an antagonizer, instigator. He did it all, right?
Yeah.
So that would definitely be it for sure. Pretty easy.
Is Marty your favorite goalie of all time, or you got somebody else besides Marty?
Yeah, it has to be, right? Like, I
Okay.
mean, I 1000 respect everybody else's body of work and what they were able to do. Patrick
Right.
Roy, Dominic Hasek, even going back to the Terry Sawchuk. Like there's so many great goalies for different times, but the
Yeah.
fact that Marty was able to do it at the level he did it for the amount of time that he did it, and what people really don't talk about it so much, the style that he did it, right? He wasn't a full butterfly goalie. He was a hybrid style type of goalie,
Sure.
aggressive with the angles, right? And was just always so laser focused. Like I'll never forget. Like now or since then, right? You get so spoiled. Like since then, you have a breakaway or 2-on-1 or
Yeah.
like odd man rush. It's like you're worried. You were never worried with Marty in the net.
Florida. Yeah.
Solid. It was always like it. Like he just struck fear in the opponent's eyes. Like he made them mess up. He made them shoot wide. Like just that type
that
of
aura.
That aura, man.
Yeah.
Just it has to be Marty. Just everything he was able to do over the years, and then obviously to boot, like the records, right? Like everything's there for a reason,
Yeah.
People, people who don't like the Devils will attribute it to their system, right? The trap system, the whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But listen, guess what, man? There's a lot of teams that play a glorified trap right now and have since then that haven't had anywhere near the same amount of success as he had.
For sure. Man, what a time. They had some really good goalies back in the day. Curtis Joseph.
Cujo, yeah.
Man, Cujo.
Luongo, man.
Yeah,
Like, there's
Luongo.
just a lot. There's so many decent.
It's a lot.
ones.
Yeah, for
Tuukka
sure.
Rask, there's a lot.
Oh man, Tuukka Rask. Man. Brings me
Even
back, man.
Hank was awesome, dude.
Yeah. Hank Lundqvist is awesome. Yeah, Lundqvist for sure.
If there's one Ranger I feel bad for not actually winning a cup.
Winning a ring. Lundqvist.
That guy. He stood on his head for that team for a really long time.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Who was your GOAT in hockey, by the way? You have a GOAT like of all time, like a Gretzky, or who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, it has to be close between Gretzky and Lemieux.
Okay.
Right?
Super Mario. Okay.
Offensively, obviously, right? Has to be. And just the stuff that Lemieux went through, right? Between coming back, just natural gifted goal scorer, right?
Yeah.
But Gretzky, just the stuff that he was able to do is just, I don't think there's anybody in any sport that's anywhere near distance between first and second as he is, right? Just the stats, the records, you take away, I think the stat is you take away all of his goals and all of Ovechkin's goals even now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ovechkin, #1 goal scorer ever.
Yeah,
right?
Ovi, man. Yeah.
But you take away all that from Gretzky, and he's still the leading point scorer in NHL history with just his assists.
It's unbelievable.
Wild, right?
Unbelievable. Thoughts on Ovi, that record, though? Like, how impressive is that? Will it ever be broken, what he's been able to do?
I don't know, man. So it's incredibly, it's so impressive.
Yeah.
You never think that something like that's going to be broken at the
Ever
time.
in our
You go
lifetime.
back,
No,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you just see a guy like that who is just he's so naturally gifted, right? Like you look at the guy, he doesn't look like your tradition. Like
No.
he's not, he ain't a Greek god, man. Like
Yeah.
you look at him, he's in the off season, he's in Russia, he's like smoking cigarettes, drinking beers. Like he's just a dude who's
Right.
really good at hockey and has got an insane shot. And is always in the right place at the right time, especially during power plays. And has been able to do it healthy for so long. Like, I don't even think the guy's ever really gotten hurt, right? Like
Yeah.
he's just a brick shit house of a player that
Right.
can do it all. Like I remember doing fantasy hockey years ago,
Right.
and like Ovechkin for like 10 years in a row was like number one pick all, like because he does
He
he
does
hit,
everything.
he scores, like he did everything forever, right?
Right.
So yes, incredibly so impressive that he's been able to do it for as long as he's been able to do it. One team also, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Caps. Yeah.
unreal, huge, credit for him for that.
Right.
Finally won that cup. I was rooting for them at that point in time, man. That guy deserved it,
Right.
for everything he's
Sure.
been able to do for them. The city deserved it too, for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll ever be broken. But again,
No.
like
Never say
look
never.
at it. Like look at what he was able to do. Like
Yeah.
no one thought that anyone was
No.
going to touch
The
Gretzky.
record stood forever.
Yeah.
He was able to do that. Thoughts on hockey years ago, 90s, early 2000s to where it is now. If you had a question to ask Commissioner Gary Bettman, what would you ask him? Any questions off the top of your head?
I don't think I'd really have a question for him. I think that it's almost now tradition in hockey. Whenever he walks onto the ice, that
Yeah.
people boo him.
It's
But
always a thing, right? And he's from your
it
city, right?
doesn't
He's from
matter, dude. Like
back
it
in my
doesn't.
neighborhood. Yeah, and it's like crazy.
Right. I think, obviously you navigate through a couple lockouts. It's going to give you a bad reputation. But from what he's been able to do, the changes that have been made over the course of the past several years, I think are all like, I don't really have, I don't like the shootout, right? I don't like the shootout. At first I liked it, but I don't like it now.
Not
I think it's a
anymore.
crappy way to decide a game.
Right.
But I guess it's still better than a tie. But the game has definitely gotten a little bit safer. It's gotten faster. You don't have head hunting. You don't have to your point about fighting before. Like
Right.
there used to be a spot on a roster for like a goon, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that used to be like a spot. Like
Thing.
that guy doesn't really exist. Like there's still some left, but it
Right.
doesn't really exist anymore because that's not the direction of the game. And I like that that's not necessarily the direction of the game. Again, time and place for it, but it doesn't have to be a brawler that does it. It could be your captain. It could be someone who's just kind of big, right?
Right.
You get. So I don't really have an issue with what he's done with the game.
Okay.
There's a ton of parity at this point in time. And I think that I really think he has done a pretty good job. No real questions.
No real questions for Gary.
Yeah.
Growing up for me, man, it was in the 90s, it was Sega Genesis, NHL 94, Little Blades of Steel. I mean, how awesome were those games? Did you play those games, by the way, as a kid?
Yes, I did. I was a little bit more into like the Nintendo 64 era.
Okay,
Like I did have NES. Like I had the original Nintendo system for my sisters
right.
and stuff like that. I had some Sega Genesis stuff. But it was, big Toe Jam and Earl guy in Sega Genesis. I don't remember
Toe Jam and Earl, yeah.
NES Bubble Bobble. Have you ever tried to beat that the right way? Almost
Yeah.
impossible. Unbelievable. But a big into N64. I still have an N64 in a backpack that is either in my basement or in my car most times. For if we go someplace, if we have like a fantasy draft, if we have something going on, we plug in the N64, we get Super Smash or something going, and we're playing. Man, it's a rite of passage, dude. So yes, the answer is big fan of that.
Were you always the Devils, or you just kind of switched it up?
Oh, for sports games, always Devils. Man.
Always Devils. Who's playing for Lord Stanley, man? Upcoming months here. Who you got? East, West? Who you got?
I think Colorado has like 2 or 3 losses on the year.
Okay.
Like it's impossible to ignore. We've seen this before though, right? it's crazy how the President's Club, President's Trophy winner, like there's like almost like a curse against that, but they are just really, really, truly almost unstoppable.
Right. Yeah.
I really don't. I don't like Carolina. I really, really don't like Carolina. But it's because they're good, man. They're so well coached.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like they're always in great shape.
They're
right.
always there. Yeah.
All of them, they're just a bunch of beasts at all times. Right. You have the Lightning, who's always in it. As far as the West, Golden Knights. I mean, what a story, man! Expansion team a couple years ago, win the cup a couple years after that. Yeah. Like they're good. They're good, but there's, besides Colorado, and by the way, I'm looking at now 4 losses in.
Wow.
42, insane record at this point in time. But I think they're the clear-cut favorite. But watch out for Carolina, man. Watch out for Carolina. You just saw what the Islanders did against the Devils last night. I don't really have a problem. Listen, Devils fans and Islanders fans have a common enemy. Really hate each other, right? So, watch out for the Islanders. They're up and coming. They're this guy Schaefer, who they drafted first, I think overall, is really, he's a special player, and he himself, along with what Patrick Waugh as a goalie, as a coach over there, are doing, is really changing that culture pretty quickly, and they're very hot right now. So there's a lot to be excited about in the upcoming months with hockey.
Who wins another Stanley Cup in our lifetime, Rangers or the Devils? Who's going to win it?
I mean, I hope the Devils, dude. Obviously, I hope. If we're counting and we're looking at the status of both organizations right now, right, I think it's really, really close for 2 reasons. Number one, the Rangers are a win now type team if they can get their crap together. Soon, right? Yeah. Trade some draft picks and buy at the deadline, depending on where they're at. I don't know what their pipeline looks like. I'm not really super familiar with their farm system. Devils, they're like, this is a time, like their core is here. They have, their window is for the next 2 or 3 years, I would say at most. Okay. And like a lot of their highly touted farm system, guys are now, they're now in regular spots, right? So you're seeing like that come to fruition. So you're also seeing a little bit of a loss of skill in their farm system. So if they don't win soon, it's going to be bad for a while, right? Yeah. So I'm just hoping at the core, the Devils have a better core now for friendlier cap situations with better players at this point in time. They just can't get out of their own way. I would hope so. Obviously, like I said, I would hope to say the Devils. On paper, you call Vegas odds, they're going to say Devils first right now. Right. And I hope that's the case, man.
All right, let's go Rangers, man. Hey, I know how much you love food, a good meal, right? I see this thing popped up. I was like, this is interesting. Brisket, ribs, pulled pork, pork belly, beef ribs, even smoked pastrami. I saw that. Nothing public, nothing formal, like you said, just really good food. How did this idea all come about? And do you see this thing taking off of Life of a Zombie?
Yes. Yeah. So my sister does something similar with meal prepping, and but more importantly, like I love barbecue, man. Like that was one of the things we were kind of talking a little bit about it before. Loving the food business, loving creating food, cooking food. I got into barbecue when I was living in New City. Probably about, we got to go back now 10 plus years. Me and my roommates decided to buy a smoker. It was a crappy propane, put wood chips on it, smoker. I just kind of went with it. And I always loved barbecue, like good barbecue, like tender barbecue. Right. And so, they got into it, but I got into it more. Right. Okay. Ruined a whole bunch of meat. Right. Like ruined a whole bunch of meat, overcooked, dry, like trial and error. But finally, like it clicked. Like I understood, like it's a labor of love. It is just pure patience. Like if you're making barbecue, no one can ever ask you like, when's it ready? Like it's ready when it's ready.
It's ready when it's ready. There's no rushing it. There's no putting it on the fly, right?
No, you can't. No, it's not, never. And so I learned that, kind of really went through with like different types of rubs. Like then when I got it right, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, this is too salty. This is too spicy, right? We want a nice mix, salt, spice, sugar, even like sweetness. Like you get the rubs, and then you try different rubs. And now this is before it became more mainstream. Like now you're seeing the advertisements. You have like these different rubs that they sell.
Right.
It pops up on your feed, right? Like, let me try that one. Let me try this one, right?
Right.
So it's been a labor of love, and I will toot my own horn here, man. I've gotten really freaking good at it.
Okay.
It's been a long time since that old a rectangular box smoker over at North Little Tour Road in New City.
Yeah.
I've upgraded. I got this Rectech. It's a pellet smoker. I know the traditionalists be like, oh, pellet smokers. I've done both, man. It is
Right.
just as good, if not better. You get the smoke, you get the smoke ring, you get the tenderness, you get everything. I got a small one, just kind of at first, just to kind of check out the brand. Like they were highly touted, like really, really good reputation, customer service, a good solid product. It's obviously outside, so you put a cover over it, but it's in
Right.
it's in the elements, and
Right.
there's a computer system in there, right? No matter how you look at it, right? So never had an issue with it. Then finally, after 3 or 4 years with that, like I got the bigger one, right? Same brand,
Oh,
I got
yeah.
the big boy, right?
Right.
And so now I can cook a lot more at the same time.
Right.
I've like I said, I've really tried really hard to experiment with a lot of different cuts of meat and how they cook.
Yeah.
And all the science behind it's just crazy of like when the fat renders the right way. It could be a 1 degree difference between it being a piece of shoe leather and it
Right.
melting in your mouth, and you have to get it
Wow.
right there, right?
It's
You got to
very
find that
meticulous. Yeah. Yeah.
without drying it out too much, right?
Yeah.
So, pork is easy. Pork is always easy. There's
Okay.
enough fat in pork where you'll never screw it up, right?
Right.
But
Right.
beef can be hard. Brisket, you have
Yeah.
a full brisket, man. There's two muscles on there, right? There's the point
Yeah.
and there's a flat. One cooks a little bit quicker than the other, and it's a little bit ready before. So what do? This one's at 135, 185 degrees. This one's at 203 degrees. It's ready, right? Like, so there's a lot of, you got to kind of think in real time. So there's a lot of things that you got to do with it, but patience is the number one key.
Yeah.
I give huge kudos to these barbecue restaurants that are doing, 5, 10, 20,
All this
30
stuff.
briskets, everything at the same time, and everything comes out so consistent, right? Like
Right.
it's hard enough to do one, like babysit it the right way. They're doing so many of
So
these, and
many.
they're perfect every
Every
time.
single time.
So
Yeah.
it's shout out to all the Texas barbecue spots, visiting those and really trying to emulate what that looks like. Not easy to do,
For
but
sure.
really, really good. And so I put it to the test, man. Like I put that post out there,
Yeah.
had a couple bites, man. Like a decent amount of people have
Good.
already done it.
Yeah.
All happy customers, man. I think even one person posted a little video on that post of it. Was really, really funny.
Yeah.
So thank you, Joe Beccanelli, for that. I don't know if you're listening today, but they love the pork belly, burn ends, and
Yeah.
we also made him some regular pulled pork as well. But everybody else who's had it really, really likes it. I make it for my team all the time. Like it's a
Yeah.
big incentive. Like if they hit their goals, they do this, they're getting brisket, right? And they love it. They'll run through walls
Wow.
for brisket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a great reward, man. It's a wonderful thing to do, and I love doing it. I love making it.
Right.
It's a huge process, and it's really, really great, man, for sure.
You have any big expectations this thing can take off? I mean, how they can get in touch with you? They have to DM you, right? Just DM you, and then we'll go from there, right?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. We're gonna play it by ear. Like if it takes off, it takes off, right? Like step one, like try to establish a reputation for what your food looks like. Step two, if it works, right? Like try to do something a little bit different. Invest a little bit of that money into something like a food truck or something along those
Right.
lines.
Right.
Step three, brick and mortar, right? You never
Yeah.
know where it can go. You really never know where it can go.
Yeah.
And I'm not against any of that, right? If that's where it goes, and it's something that I love doing and it's a passion of mine, to me that's not working. Like that's
Yeah.
fun. I love doing it. So
Right.
let's see where it goes. I don't have any expectations, but anything is better than nothing at this point in time.
For
And I
sure.
know damn well if anybody out there is listening, they want to try it. they are going to be very much so wowed by what that product looks like.
The pictures look amazing. I was scrolling through them. I'm like, juicy, juicy. I want to taste it. I am hungry right now. I got to get on the phone with Joe Conchi. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Next time you have a cookout, please invite me in the summer or
No
something.
problem, man. You're in, brother. No
Jesus,
doubt about it.
man. Speaking of Joe Conchi, MJC, Director of Sales Supervisor of Altice USA. You ready for some rapid fire questions? All right.
So. I think I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Yeah. You got a nickname?
Conch.
Okay.
It's Conch. It's just usually just Conch.
Just Conch.
Yeah.
Last time you heard sweet.
Has to be either you or Jose, right?
Me or Jose. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You speak a little bit of Italian, a little bit of Spanish. Which one do you prefer? Give me a word in Spanish. Give me a word in Italian today.
Oh my God. Spanish. So I don't think that I really have any particular one that I like more, but a little, I love saying bellissimo in Italiano, right? That's just a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, like I love the Italian language, and I love my roots, obviously. So yes.
Bellissimo. I like that. Ever planning on getting married? Maybe one day. Who knows?
Maybe one day. Who knows, man? I'm of course. Like, I mean, listen. Everybody loves love. I love love. You know, if it works out, I'm always hopeful that everything that works out and that's on the right trajectory. And yeah, man, I definitely would love to get married one day.
Okay. Favorite holiday movie of all time?
Oh, that's a good question.
You got Home Alone, you got Christmas Story, you know.
So I think it has to be. It's got to be Elf, man. It's got to be Elf. Yeah, I think it has to be Elf. I love Elf, man. It's a great movie.
Is Christmas your favorite holiday in the entire world, or
no? I think Thanksgiving is.
Thanksgiving
because it's Christmas without the hustle and bustle of having to get and give. Like I love giving gifts and I love getting gifts. Like,
right.
But like it's just so much, right? Thanksgiving, you have the family time, you have the great food, you have the togetherness, right? And you don't have to worry about all that other stuff. So I Thanksgiving definitely
for sure. Favorite all-time TV show?
Banshee.
Really?
Banshee.
I thought you were gonna go like a Friends route, or
No, man.
Banshee.
Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of Banshee. Never watched it.
It's an old school. It's an old Cinemax series.
Okay.
It's not like really well made, but it's awesome. Yeah. It's such a good series.
That's awesome. Banshee. Wow. What's your go-to meal these days?
Go-to meal.
Yeah.
I cook so much different stuff all the time.
Okay. Different stuff on the menu. Okay.
Because I love cooking and I'm pretty decent at it.
Right.
I'll do different things. Like, dude, like every once in a while I'll go to H Mart over here in Paramus and I'll get like sushi stuff and like roll my own sushi. Like I'll do it all, dude. Like I love doing it. Like if I'm in the mood for it, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get it. If I'm getting tacos, like I'm getting the chorizo.
Right.
I'm dicing it up. I'm getting cilantro. I'm getting like cotija cheese. Like I'm gonna do it up authentic and do it up right.
That's awesome.
There's not going to be a go-to, man. It's whatever it is that I'm in the mood for that I want to emulate and make my own. Yeah. I'll do.
Drink these days. Drinks choice of yours these days.
There's these. It's like a jasmine green tea from Costco, right? Jasmine, it's unsweetened, right? Okay. It's very good for you.
Right.
I love that as a regular beverage. Regular water, obviously, as well. But there's a jasmine green tea. It's really, really good, man. I highly recommend it.
Wow. I know that we talked about the serving bartending thing. Never say never. You never know. It's in us, right? It never leaves us. It's never going to go anywhere. You never know. At a spot of a moment, we can bartend, we can serve. It never dies. Those trades never die. You hold any grudges?
No, absolutely not. No grudges. Never. Listen, life's too short for it, man. I'm not that. I've never been that type of person ever. Like I'm never gonna hold a grudge. If I'm mad or angry about something, it'll pass, right? I'll get upset about it, and what I try to do typically is try to understand somebody else's perspective for why, or something else's perspective for why something happens, right? For me, like I'm a big proponent of. I don't have to I don't have to appreciate or like something, but I do want to understand it, right?
Okay. Fair.
So if it's unjust and unfair and and bad,
Yeah.
then yeah, that's gonna suck. But grudges, no, I'm not a grudge guy. I've never been a grudge guy.
Yeah. Where's Joe in 10 years from now?
It's a great question, man. It's a great question.
Yeah.
Um, Either still with the company I'm at right now, which I do love, and I have ambitions of growing with it. Right. That's always I'm pretty loyal, man. Like every job I've had for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Right. So that's no different with the career that I have now, and I've worked myself into I think a pretty advantageous spot where I have an opportunity to grow with it. Should the company decide that they want to do that with me, right? It's always loyalty first. So I would like to do that. Maybe hopefully, very hopeful on continuing my
Yeah.
current relationship, seeing wherever that leads. And at this point in time, if I want to do a little bit more with my home, my house. But yeah, nothing really, no crazy plans. Obviously, hopefully make a couple more bucks, right? That would be nice. A little
Yeah.
more vacations, but no crazy. I'm a pretty simple guy, Ken,
Yeah. Yeah.
no crazy ambitions, who knows? Like if things with this don't work out, maybe it's something in the service business,
Yeah.
it's always on the back of my mind, for sure. But my loyalty and my heart's with this career path that I chose for sure. And anything with it, like it, I like and pretty good at, and I'd like to continue for sure.
That's well said, man. Hey, a message to humanity. We live in a crazy world. You see what's going on right now. What would you say today to human beings, humanity in general? What's a speech right now? You got anything off the top of your head for humanity?
Listen, I think that it's such a deep spot, right?
Yeah.
Family, right? Whatever you consider family, right? Hold close, man, right? Hold close. And when I say family, it doesn't have to be blood, right? It doesn't
Okay.
have to
Right.
be blood. It could be your friends that you consider your family, right? It could be your loved one that you consider your family. It could be anyone, your dogs that you consider. Hold them close, man, right? Like there your friends that you consider your family. Hold them close and stay in contact, right? Stay in contact. It doesn't
Yeah.
take that much effort to communicate, right? Me being
Right.
in a communications business, right? It doesn't take that much time to communicate with the people that you love, right?
Right.
Never take any day for granted. You never know, man. There's such crazy things that happen, and every our days are. I know I know it sounds a little bit more, but
Yeah.
everyone's days are numbered, right?
Yeah.
There's a time clock and everything. So, never take time for granted with the people that you love, and always appreciate that and appreciate time with them and communication. And to your point, don't hold grudges, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen some family stuff where there's been grudges, and even to this day that there's grudges, and it's one of the worst things in the world to see that and to have to deal with that and to go through that. So just love the people that love you, and give people different chances. If you do feel like they've wronged you, try to put yourself in people's shoes. When you don't agree with something, in order to figure that out, man. That's I think
Yeah.
that's really important for
That's
sure.
awesome. Well said, man. Hey, any plugs for the listeners today? Any shout outs? People can get a hold of you, social media, whatever you want to do. Stage is yours, man.
Yeah, no. So I mean, listen, I'm not a huge social media guy. I have the Instagram, I do have the Facebook. Those are really the only two that I have. I'm more of like a watcher from afar, right? I
Yeah.
don't see
Yeah.
many posts. Like yeah, I'll scroll and I'll see things that I like. But listen, there's always shout outs to the family and friends and everybody who's supported me through this crazy journey of life that I've had. Um, you know, uh, Anyone in particular? Yeah, mom, dad. You talk about some of the bosses that I've had. Tommy from Fireside. Jim from Cheesecake Factory. All the
Yeah.
managers there. Uh, Jeff House, rest in peace, the manager that hired me for cable, right? Gary Rhinesmith, one of my managers, Sam Abdelaziz, the people I work with, Lou Puerta. There's so many people that I give all the success that I've had to, right?
Right.
My girlfriend, Kat, like everyone, and everybody along the way that has shaped me into the person that I am, and created what I've been able. contributed to what I've been able to accomplish in my success. You know
Yeah.
who you are. It doesn't, you don't need a shout out, but if you've ever helped me or I've had the ability to help you in any sort of way, that's what I love. That's what I live for. I love helping people. I love being helped. And I love going through this wonderful thing called life with
Yeah.
gratitude, appreciation, and everything, man. So that's really all I got, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, man, this was a ton of fun. I'm glad we were able to connect over the years. It's been a long time,
Yeah.
maybe close to 10 years. I haven't seen you since. Glad we were able to do this sit down interview. Thanks so much for your time, dedication. All the best for the new year, future. Keep doing your thing, Altice, the barbecue stuff, the fishing, the dogs, everything in between, the cooking, bartending, serving. Just keep it going, man. Looking great, staying
Thank
young.
you. Thank
And
you.
let's go Rangers, man.
I appreciate it, man. And Ken, thank you, man. Shout out to you for
Yeah.
For reaching out. I've never done anything like I was telling you. I've never done anything like this
Right.
before. So I didn't really know what to expect, what to do.
Yeah.
But man, you made this such an awesome, enjoyable experience. I don't really like to consider myself that interesting of a person, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, there is some Joe Conchi stories out there that are worth sharing, and I
Yeah, for
really
sure.
appreciate you reaching out, man. And we really need to grab a beer, hang out, man,
Yeah, let's
and
do
shoot the
something
shit
this summer for
for sure,
sure. Let's
dude.
do something for sure,
I would
man.
love that, man. Nothing
For
more, brother.
sure.
All right.
Hey, stick around. Don't go anywhere. I want to get your number. We can connect and do all that fun stuff. This has been a lot of fun, guys. Watching on social media. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Joe Conchi for myself, Kenford, mic'd up. We are out. It's been a blast. We'll see you soon.